Here, tyres aren't a problem. Everybody on new rubber kicked off yesterday. We've got karts on track for Senior Rotax. It's the third time we've seen Senior Rotax this year so far. First time today. Here we go then. Where's the grid?
The grid is... It's massive as well, isn't it? How many karts have we got in this heat? We have 32 karts running up to take the first heat of the day. And on pole position is the 225 or Jacob Moss. Alongside him in the 91 will be George Hill. Finishing up the grid, Matthew Lambert, row 2. Kieran Gifford, better start than 19th yesterday, is 5th. Daniel Knight alongside him. Ashton French, another local. Kieran Downer. Oh, Kieran Downer? I might have said that wrong. My apologies.
Kieran Downer, I think.
Adrian Kalemi, Callum Farley, Erin Meddy and Isaac Reynolds are your top
10? Top 12. I just want to mention Charles Cheesy Green, if you're familiar with NKC. Cheesy is up into seniors for the first time this weekend.
That's a wave around.
Yeah, it is a wave around. Yeah, it catches us out because there's a cut through here. They don't go around the whole track. But Charles Green, club champion here at Forest Edge, and in round 2 of last year's championship in Junior Rotax, he's not going to have that wet advantage, which he absolutely had a textbook run in the wet and showed just how important local knowledge certainly is here at Forest Edge. We've got them approaching the cut through, which means they turn right instead of going through the bus stop chicane. We'll be giving you more detail of the track as we get around it, but we're very shortly going to be greeted with Jacob Hobbs and George Hume on that front row of the grid. It's a very, very short straight here to start things off, and you were immediately into a flat-out sweeping left. And we get things underway, and we've got a green flag for the first time today. Then round 1 of the 2025 NKC Sunday race day is very much on and off into the lead by quite a considerable margin, considering is, I think, Jacob Hobbs on the 225, guys.
Yeah, it is. He's bolted away from the front, immediately up to second place. Behind him on the familiar blue nib sport is Matthew Lambert, who's going to be using all of his local knowledge. Seeded number 10 from last season. Had a great finish, didn't he, at Warden Law? And he's making a move for the lead already as they head into midgets for the first time.
Yeah, getting it done very, very quickly. Matthew Lambert, top 10 finish in last year's season. Oh, and there's a little bit of, I think that was a little bit of cold tyres come into play there. Both carts seemingly going very wide as we complete lap 1, guys.
Yeah, no real harm going on now. I think it was just a missed opportunity on the break there. But yeah, Matthew Lambert, a couple of cart lengths. Is that Bobby Rossi that's dropped into second place? It's difficult to pick out.
George Hume crossed the line in second. Finley Underwood third.
Yeah.
Kieran Gifford fourth. Daniel Knight, Ashton French, Adrian Clelemy, Jacob Hobbs, Erin Meddy and Mitchell Mulvey, your top 10. Mitchell Mulvey, I believe, moving into seniors as well. So Jacob Hobbs having that little bit of an off coming out of Climate, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just overcooked it a little bit. They're at Climate already again, though, Gaz. The two leaders breaking away, but that's a battle for third, and that looks like Underwood, Gifford and Knight there. Let's see if they've sorted themselves out. It is indeed Gifford, Knight and French by the time they get to us.
Look like Ashton French was in the middle of that somewhere on the 53 on the barrel in the middle of the screen there. The white helmets, red and white colour scheme, ever present in this championship now. Bit of a gap opening. Yeah,
Gifford's gone. Gifford's latched on to the top 3, and Daniel Knight now has Ashton French and Finley Underwood for that. What is 4th, 5th and 6th place down. That's them just coming through the bus stop now and then out onto that run towards the top corner, which is Midgets, named after, I'm just looking for a name.
Holly Midget
Yates, yes, who was the granddaughter of the first clerk of the course here, Howard Chappell. So it's all the corner names are paying homage and respect to club members here at Forest Edge, and founder club members mainly. We'll have a bit more mention of them as we get through the day, but right now, guys, the number 53 of Ashton French right on the rear bumper of Finley Underwood as they head off towards the chicane.
Yeah, I'm just keeping my eye on third placed cart of Kieran Gifford on the number 2. Again, another local guy who's extremely quick at every circuit he goes to. I'm pretty sure anytime soon he's going to start making inroads as we approach half distance of this heat already, Joe.
Yeah,
that is going extremely quickly.
We're a minute away from that half distance mark. 8 minutes and 1 lap is the distance, and things beginning to settle down somewhat.
Wow.
We've got this battle here between Knight, Underwood, French and Kalemi, just a hanging off the back of them on the 72 as they head off towards the chicane. There's the leader through. The number 10 is still Matthew Lambert. Everybody behaving themselves so far.
Yeah, they're starting to get a little bit strung out at the front. Matthew Lambert has certainly put the hammer down. He's pulling them apart a little bit, isn't he? There's a gap back to 4th position.
You mentioned Matthew Lambert. He's here with Nibsport, which is Matt Isaac's team,
Yeah.
and they are very local to this area, aren't they?
I'm fairly sure Matt practically lives here with his team owning.
Does he?
I
Right.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. The guys are here pretty much every week. I know they take part in the big clubby.
Well, it's not taking anything away from Matthew Lambert, who's controlling the lead.
No.
But it helps when you've got a team with a lot of local knowledge, and Matt Isaacs, the team principal at Nibsport. He knows a thing or two about how to put a car together, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, considering that team didn't exist 18 months ago, and here he is with 15 karts here this weekend. Unbelievable.
Yeah, because he was competing himself, wasn't he? Was he
I think-
competing
was he?
himself? Was he looking after somebody?
I think he might have been looking after a couple of drivers. Many years have passed.
Absolutely. We have clicked by half distance. Lambert leads, George Hume second, Kieran Gifford third there. Daniel Knight, Finlay Underwood, Ashton French, Jensen Watts, the number 1 current champion, moving up to 7th. Jacob Hobbs in 8th. Adrian Kalemi is still hanging on to that 9th place, and Ryan Shepherd now running off the top 10. Charles Green, the current club champion here in juniors, moving into seniors, he's up to 13th, but right on his tail is Mason Perrin on the number 4. And that is the battle for second place there, just coming into Climate Corner, which is towards the final stages of the race. And the question is, guys, the second kart in that picture there, the red and white kart there, the number 2, Kieran Gifford, vice champion from 2024. Now, is he going to mount a challenge on George Hume on that number 91?
Yes, I think, as we said already, he's starting to eke his way forward, isn't he, to the back of George Hume on the 91. And I'm pretty sure with just under 3 minutes to go, he'll be up and by, or at least looking for a move as they head into the chicane around the back.
Yeah,
and
that battle
again. He's definitely livened up.
He is, but we can't take our eyes off this battle for 4th. I think we've got Jensen Watts, who's just moved up and moved up another one. Yeah. So Watts had moved ahead of Ashton French. I think he's ahead of Daniel Knight now, and he's got one more kart to go in that train of karts, and that is Finlay Underwood.
Yeah, on the 11.
So the Birrell Art driver on the number 1 now making good progress and gathering points, guys. That's the important thing.
And that's it, isn't it? I mean, this championship is going to be all about consistency, making sure you can score points at your least favourite circuits. Not to say this is one of Jensen's least favourites, but as the season progresses, you have one bad round and it will make a massive difference to where you could finish. Always looking for it, always over the top.
And that was clumsy, to say the least there. They're coming together into the chicane, and that's a shame because that's broken up that battle quite considerably. I'm not apportioning blame at all. I think we'll part our racing incident, but that was just a bit of a narrow piece of track there in those two karts. Let's see how that pans things out. Lambert leads, Kieran Gifford second now, George Hume third, Ashton French, Daniel Knight, Jacob Hobbs, Ryan Shepherd, Jensen Watts down to 8th now. Adrian Kalemi is in 9th, Cheesy Green up to 10th.
Yeah, I've just watched Finlay Underwood come by the window there. The car looks okay. He's continued on his way, so he hasn't bent an axle. He took a trip across the grass, but everything seems to be all right.
It cost him the most, didn't it? It's dropped him right the way down.
He's somewhere down here.
Yeah,
22nd over the line.
That's a shame. I think Jensen Watts got away with it quite likely, to be honest.
Jensen again is straight back on the kit. He's not wasting time, is he? This morning, rather.
His car was in the air across the back of that Underwood kart.
I don't think anybody's told him, though. He's just cracked on his way, hasn't he? He's already made 2 positions back. It
just shows how robust the Birrell Art is, I think. It took a bit of a bash at the chicane.
He's got to pick his way past the 54 of Ryan Shepherd, who's squeezed by in that melee at the chicane a lap ago, or 2 laps ago now. But, again, Ryan Shepherd, a Nibsport protege, doing very well at a circuit he knows extremely well. Jensen goes for a move into midgets. Much tardier this time around.
Textbook stuff there, just down the inside now, midgets, and that's a little bit of a wave of let's get on with it. However, there's only 20 seconds on the clock, so it's going to be 2 more laps for these, and I suspect that as they cross the line, Jensen Watts in 5th, Ryan Shepherd on the 54 is in 6th, Cheesy Green, Charles Green up to 7th. Now, young Cheesy, who is the club junior champion, the junior club champion here at Forest Edge, his first season his first event, first day first weekend in seniors and looking very at home amongst the older drivers.
Yeah, he's picked off some 17 drivers, I think, this morning already to get up to the 7th position. He started 20th. He's up 13 spots so far.
That's him there,
Good
the number
strong day.
77 with the white nose cone. Oh, and that's a bit of local knowledge of how to use the tin opener there to make that move down the inside into Tolly's hairpin. And he's made that move, and he's up into 6th place now.
Yeah, Jacob Hobbs followed him through as they went through Haynes Loop out the other side and down into Winges again.
So last lap for Matthew Lambert, who leads on the number 10. And Matthew just heading from midgets now, heading back towards...
Kieran Gifford's not going to let that one go, though, is he?
No, Kieran Gifford on the number 2, trying to see if he can make a way through, but no. You know that when you planted into Tollies and side by side across the line at the checkered flag, that gave us a gap of 45 thousandths. And you saw what Kieran did there. He didn't try to get down the inside into the final turn. He positioned the car to optimise his run off the final turn.
Get the grip out.
Because Matthew was having to defend on the inside, and it almost worked.
Almost.
He missed that by 45 thousandths of a second. But all credit to Matthew Lambert, guys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Where did he start? He come through from 4th in, I think, what was it, 2 laps? 1 lap, wasn't it, through turn 3?
He was into the lead,
yeah,
he was into the lead.
Kieran Gifford up 3 spots as well from 7th on the grid. 5th on the grid, sorry.
George Hume did well, 3rd place from 2nd. That's he hung on to that grid position.
Yep.
Ashton French in 4th. Jensen Watts from 14th to 5th. Charles Green, Cheesy Green, from 20th to 6th. That's possibly the biggest mover. 27th to 9th is Reese Green.
Yep.
No relation, by the way. 7th was Jacob Hobbs. 8th was Ryan Shepherd. Reese Green, as I said, 9th. Mason Perrin started in 30th place and moved up 20 places to get into the top 10. He's in 10th. JJ Hind was 11th. Ajahn Kalemi was 12th. Adam Catling 13th. Ollie Owen 14th. And 15th was Sam Wyatt. He's here on the number 9, and he's with the LRG team. And the rest of the finishers there on the timing board. Next one up, Gaz, is the 177 class. And we've already had a heat for 177s. And this is the second heat for them. Yesterday's winner, I'm just going to remind myself, was Ryan Taylor Truman, of course. No, that wasn't Ryan Taylor Truman who won yesterday. 2025 results. Let me just get that up.
I can't remember.
It was Nathan Chafer, of course.
Yeah,
now I remember.
Yeah, I do.
Now I remember. He was, and I said Nathan was serving a notice of intention there. Yes. He looked very determined from the get-go.
And as we said, he's been at Warden Law this week testing. He's been here, there, and everywhere since I think the January season kicked off.
What does that tell you, guys?
He wants to win
the championship.
Yes.
Yes. Now he's not out here.